嗨，大家，今天为大家介绍这本绘本《Guess Who's Coming for Dinner》。Dear Diary, after an excellent breakfast, a jolly nice letter arrived from Dr. Hunter, the new owner of Itham Hall. He has invited Glenda and me for a weekend of free gourmet food. It starts tonight, so Glenda has barely 7 hours to pack. Should be just enough time for an afternoon snack before we set off. Had a bracing drive up to Itham Hall. Though Glenda was slightly spooked by the old road through the woods, she was convinced there were strange noises out there. Silly old bird, it was my tummy rumbling. I must say, it was a bit of a disappointing welcome. What with the door being wide open and no lights, staff, or food anywhere to be seen, we were about to turn tail for home when Glenda spotted a note on the hallway table. It was addressed to Horace and Glenda Fowler. My dear guests, welcome to my home Itham Hall. Due to pressures of business, I'm unable to join you tonight, but I've designed this house to offer a fully automated dining experience. Your every dietary whim can be satisfied by the push of a button or the flick of a switch. I'm delighted to offer you the chance to play a part in the finest dining experience in culinary history. And I will meet you personally in the bandstand on Sunday morning for a final mouth-watering surprise. An opportunity such as this can only occur once in any lifetime. So, until then, eat, drink, and be merry. Your very special friend, Dr. A. Hunter. Seems like a splendid chap, after all, even if he can't spell for toffee. We went to our rooms to change for dinner. Dr. Hunter seems to be a bit of a collector as well as a scientist. Glenda was fascinated by the works of art displayed on the walls, but I told her I prefer my works of art displayed on a plate. Ha ha ha. 他们上楼去咯。Hunter really is a bit of a brain box. He laid on a marvelous spread with his jolly clever robot. Tin gummabobs. Odd style of decor, though. Glenda not at all impressed, but I thought the portrait over the fireplace was rather good, especially the way the eyes seemed to follow you round the room. Proper art, Dad. Pie feast. This morning, had a long breakfast and found a splendid picnic hamper waiting for us in the hall. Spent the morning in the grounds. Located the bandstand and a poster advertising a feast here on Sunday. Shame, we'll miss it. We'll have departed by then. Rest of the day passed in a blur of wonderful non-stop food. We did a bit of exercise and managed to work up a very respectable appetite for our evening meal. Still no contact with Hunter though. Maybe he's a bit of a recluse. only closed my eyes for a few seconds while Glenda applied her lotions at one knot. But when I opened them again, the old girl was snoring contentedly beside me. My stomach, however, was far from content and was grumbling. Thought I'll pop downstairs for a tiny snack. Bit of a long hike to the kitchen. You think a clever chap like Hunter would put in a leaf or something? There are far too many locked doors in this house, so I was pretty ravenous by the time I found the kitchen. Odd, no power in the kitchen, so no robot helpers. Had to fend for myself. Hunter is obviously an extremely keen cook, though. Capital chap keeps a very well-stocked fridge. 拿了很多食物哦。Went back to bed eventually with a few midnight treats for Glenda. Today, Sunday, after a leisurely final breakfast, we made our way to the bandstand. I have to say it was very poorly constructed and swayed most alarmingly as we climbed. There was a loud crack as we both squeezed inside, and since Hunter was nowhere to be seen, we thought we really ought to leave before we broke anything else. Searched for Hunter, but couldn't find him, so decided to set off, hoping to get home in time for a late lunch. As we left, a coach full of guests was arriving for the pie feast. Dr. Hunter must have been too busy making arrangements to give us our surprise. Never mind. Shame we never got to say goodbye to Hunter. And thank you, of course. I wonder what sort of pie they're having. 本来呢，那只狼 Dr. Hunter 精心策划，要设一个陷阱，让他的狼朋友在星期天来一个吃派的派对，就是来自由朱先生和鹅小姐做成的派。怎知道计划失败了呢？很可爱的一本书哦，有惊无险，希望你们也会喜欢哦。